In my personal response, I'll be answering, in what ways does your study of justice influence your perception of the world today? I will be talking about American, Australian, and world injustice issues, and a personal reflection at the end. Justice brings peace, it settles conflict, and it brings an understanding to minorities that need their stories to be told. Hearing stories and having empathy, listening, understanding, and learning from each other opens minds to context and reasoning. It has outlets in the arts like poetry, writing, journaling, and just having a discussion. Injustice issues that affect me include self, family, local, community, state, national, and global areas. I myself, a 15-year-old woman, I have stereotypes that need overcoming. Walking alone at night and sexualizing young women is an injustice issue for me. This film made me reflect on why these injustice issues are happening to me. Family, this could come across as class, ethics, traditions, and religions. In a local community, it could be listening to the youth and open to what the people need. In a state, it's pretty fair with votes and in the Supreme Court. National is women in power and Julia Gillard and Gladys Berejiklian not being listened to or something being blamed on the woman and not a man. Our Indigenous and non-Indigenous relations and how we represent our past and how we enrich this culture that we already have, because Australia is lucky to be diverse. Globally, what do we need to reflect on globally? Climate change, our influence on our environments and cycles like water and carbon cycles, and how we can help each other, how we can help each country. American civil rights and coloured and white peoples only and white superiority is American injustice issues that I feel stem from this film. Strategies that initiate fear or second wave feminism are uprisers in injustice issues and the LA riots fighting back for what people believe in. This could also be reflected as a contemporary issue with the Black Lives Matter movement, with the death of George Floyd, and how this is so scarily similar to Rodney King and the LA riots. Is history just repeating itself? In this film, many teachers should also be inspired by Miss Gruhl's inclusive way of teaching. She brings fairness and understanding into her classroom and starts up a real connection to her students and their peers, listening to students' ideas and letting the youth voice be heard. A role model in my life is Tim Madron because he listens to my youth voice and puts it into action. He provides opportunities for me and he encourages me to pursue my dreams. My personal participation in scriptotherapy and emotional awareness and pursuing my dreams has really put a documentation to how I think, and I really relate this in the movie. My 2 points that I've chosen are also quite juxtaposed from the start and the ending of the film. The start being quite violent towards each other and segregated, rather than the end where they've created a real emotional connection. This shows that that justice requires progression, slow progression, and justice takes time to heal and work its magic. And sometimes it needs a trigger, person, or event. This could be positive in the fact that Miss Gruhl took up the job and her practices influenced the kids' lives positively, and negative like fights at school or murder or creation of gangs. A call to action. What changes do we need to make globally to enforce a healing, justified earth? What can you do personally to reflect on your decisions toward justice issues? Is there a way to prevent negative change? A young voice is heard when determining ideas and processes of the future. Should people be moved by the themes highlighted in the film and take these into action to prevent or challenge them? Thinking during this task about justice issues, personally and globally, made me reflect on myself and the decisions I am making. I am contemplating if they have a positive and negative outcomes for my peers and for the future.